Welcome on behalf of Fayetteville City Schools to a brand new school year. I'm Adam McCormick, Principal of Fayetteville High School.
I'm Tricia Jean, Principal of Fayetteville Middle School. As I'm sure you realize, this is not going to be a normal school year. However, we want you to know that we and our team are working hard to make it as good as possible.
And I'm Claudia Stiles, the principal at Ralph Askins Elementary School. And in an effort to keep you informed, we know that you have a lot of questions. So we're going to take this opportunity to answer some of those. Fayetteville City Schools will follow a staggered schedule for the first week of school, which is designated for August the 3rd through August the 6th. To limit the number of students in the building each day, we're going to provide smaller group sizes that will allow us to orient students to new protocols and prepare for the social distancing procedures. So I'm going to read out the days that your student will come, but there will be more information that will be provided in a mail out for you guys. So Monday, August the 3rd, we will have grades 4, 5, and 9. Tuesday, August the 4th, we're going to have grades 3rd, 6th, and 10. Wednesday, August 5th, it will be for grades 2, 7th, and 11th. Thursday, August 6th, will be for grades 1st, 8th, and 12th. And then Friday, August 7th, all grades will attend. Pre-kindergarten and kindergarten will follow the phase-in schedule, and that will be communicated to the parents by the teachers.
We are pleased to offer two learning options. One option will be traditional learning, where students come to school and receive face-to-face instruction. The second option will be our Virtual Learning Academy. This option will be available for students and families with concerns related to the ongoing pandemic. Student coursework and instruction will be delivered via electronic means, but FCS staff will be available to provide academic support. It is important to note that some class offerings may be limited for some courses due to the availability of online selections. Families who select the virtual learning option will receive a packet detailing the program specifics. Students choosing this option will be allowed to use their own device, or they can use the school-issued Chromebook at the cost of $25, which is a non-refundable fee. Parents and students should understand that by choosing the virtual learning, the student must remain in virtual courses through the end of the first 9 weeks. Transitions from Virtual Learning Academy to transitional in-person learning classes can only occur at the end of each 9 weeks. You should also understand that students will be responsible for participating in classroom assessments and all 10 ready testing that may be required by the State Department. Parents and students need to also understand that by opting for the Virtual Learning Academy, the student may also attend any school functions or activities. Parents and students need to understand that students will be accountable for both attendance and course grades during the virtual learning through measures such as assignment completion, login, online discussion, virtual class meetings, and things like that. Parents and students also need to understand that by filling out this waiver, they agree to the following rules and regulations of the Virtual Learning Academy Guide for the 2020-21 school year. A separate meeting will be scheduled for all students and parents who choose to go virtual, so be on the lookout for that information.
Please be aware that Fayetteville City Schools reentry information and Virtual Academy registration details will be mailed out to all families during the first of next week. It will also be available online. A lot of good information will be in these packets, and there will also be a form that we're asking all of our parents to provide valuable information on. So you may also drop by individual schools to pick up a hard copy of the system or school plan. As always, we want to thank you for your support, and we request your patience in these trying times. Ralph Askins will have open houses for our parents, and these will be conducted on the 29th and 30th. And in the little mail-outs, you will receive valuable information about the open houses, and we will try to limit the number of homeroom classes that will come on this day. We're also asking that you do not send students on this day. This will be strictly for parents. So more information will be posted about our open houses on our Facebook page and the mail-outs I mentioned.
In order to help slow the spread of COVID-19, we will be ramping up our classroom procedures and cleaning procedures in all 3 buildings. All teachers and staff will have their temperature checked daily. Student desks and classrooms will be arranged to maximize physical space and improve distancing. Classroom desks and tables will be sanitized between classes and as often as possible during the day and at the close of each day. Efforts will be made to limit communal supplies. Students and staff are encouraged to wear masks, especially during group activities in any situation where safe distance cannot be maintained. Masks will be encouraged but not required in the building for teachers and students. However, the administration and teacher do reserve the right to require masks in specific situations. Cleaning practices will be enhanced to include more frequent and deeper cleanings. Each school will also have use of an electrostatic disinfectant sprayer that they will use at the close of each day or nightly to disinfect all the classrooms and common areas.
Bus services will continue to be provided, but out of an abundance of caution, we do encourage parents and guardians to transport whenever possible. If siblings ride the same bus, they will sit together. Assigned seating will be enforced and masks will be required. If the students do not have a mask, we will have them for them as they get on the bus. Buses will be cleaned daily and disinfected.
So many of you might be wondering, what does the first day of school look like, or what happens upon entering the school for our students? Well, at Ralph Askins, all students and staff will have temperature checked as they enter the building by our staff every day. Once they enter the building, they will be escorted to a particular area of the building to allow for social distancing. If students come in at 7:40, then they will go immediately to the classrooms where the teachers will be there to greet them and provide activities for them. Breakfast will be served at 7:40 in the classrooms. So we encourage our parents to refrain from early drop-offs, and that will avoid students sitting in the halls for any length of time or in those designated areas, and they can go straight into the classrooms where instruction can take place and they can eat their breakfast.
So at Fayetteville Middle School, our students and staff will also have their temperature checked as they enter the building each day. Students, when entering the building, will be sent directly to the cafeteria where social distancing will be enforced. Students will be dismissed to their classrooms around 7:40 each morning. We will serve breakfast in the cafeteria, and that will begin around 7:15 until 7:35. We too will encourage our parents who are transporting their students to please refrain from dropping them off early to avoid the students sitting for long periods of time before the instruction begins.
At FHS, our teachers and students will also have their temperatures checked daily as they enter the building. Car riders and student drivers should enter at the front of the building and come directly inside to avoid having large groups in the parking lot. Bus riders and walkers will enter at the back of the building at the doors next to the cafeteria. When the students enter the building, they will be sent to the commons area where social distancing will be enforced. Breakfast will be served in the cafeteria beginning at 7:15 and run until 7:35. Students will then be dismissed at 7:40 to their homeroom class. We also encourage that our students not arrive earlier than 7:40 to avoid students having to sit for long periods of time as well.
You may be wondering about lunches. At Ralph Askins, lunches will be delivered to the classrooms where there will be a special time for the students to participate in activities and eat their lunch. This will be done during the first 2 months of school.
Lunches for Fayetteville Middle School will be slightly different, but a little bit of the same. Our 5th and 6th grade have the same lunchtime, and our 7th and 8th grade have the same lunchtime. So in order to enforce social distancing during lunch, we will have one grade eat in the cafeteria while the other grade eats in their classroom for a week. The next week, they will swap. So that will be for 5th and 6th grade. As they leave the cafeteria, of course, it will be sanitized and cleaned prior to the next grade entering.
Lunches at FHS will still be conducted in the Commons area. However, we will add an additional lunch period this year. While students are at lunch, they're going to be encouraged to maintain social distancing and will be asked to sit in assigned seats. As always, students are still welcome to bring their lunch, and in between lunch periods, the tables will be sanitized and cleaned for the next group of kids coming in.
We're going to talk a little bit about transitions. At Ralph Askins, we will try to refrain from a lot of transitions in and around the school building for the safety and health of our students. So therefore, all of our special area teachers like art, music, counselor, they will come into the classrooms where they will conduct their instruction.
So at Fayetteville Middle School, transitions will be limited as well. We still do have to transition from subject area to subject area. With that being said, each grade will travel as a homeroom. That way, that is limiting exposure, and they will be with the same kids during each class period. Our related arts teachers will come into the building at least for the first few weeks, maybe a couple of months, like Askins is doing, just depending on how our situation is in Lincoln County and the COVID situations that we have. With that, we will also be very cautious as we transition from class to class. The students will be encouraged to social distance. The teachers will be in the hallway, and we will encourage masks during that time.
Transitions at the high school are a very important part of our day. As a result, we're asking our teachers to be in the hallways to help facilitate the movement of the kids from one class to the next. And while the kids and staff are in the hallways, we're going to highly encourage the wearing of masks to help limit the exposure as much as possible.
I know many of our parents at the elementary level are wondering about being on campus. Are you going to be able to eat lunch like you have in the past? That's going to look a little different this year. So unfortunately, due to current circumstances and in the best interest of our students, visitors will be discouraged from entering the school buildings without an appointment. Parents or guardians needing to speak to a teacher or the administration can make an appointment or simply call us. We'd love to talk to you. Anyone admitted into the buildings will be screened for temperature and health and will be required to wear a mask while in the building.
Until further notice, parents and guardians will not be allowed to eat breakfast or lunch with our students, and parents or guardians will not be allowed to walk their students into the classroom. When parents or guardians are checking students out, those adults will need to use the buzzer system at the front door, and please just refer to our school protocol for more details. We really appreciate that you took the time to watch this information, and we know it's been a lot of information. And as always, we appreciate your continued support. Please be sure to view our posted plan and more detailed protocol. In addition, we ask that you be patient with us and realize that our current situation is changing based on state and federal guidelines on a daily basis. We can promise you one thing, that we're going to do our very best to prioritize the needs of our students and our communities. Thank you very much.
Thank you.